Now I'm going to invite the 9 finalists out here on the stage, where they're just going to introduce themselves, where they're from, and the title to their film. Here we go. Please welcome our 9 finalists.
Hello, I'm Margaret. I'm originally from Corpus Christi, though studying in Dallas, animation and games. My film is The Fabric of Life.
Hi, my name is Christy. I'm from Hong Kong, but I currently live in Berkeley. My film is Elegy for Last Raw Fish Salad.
Hi, I'm Rohit Redden. I'm originally from India, now based in Los Angeles. I'm a writer-director, and I'm here with my film Pataka that I've directed.
Hello, I'm Ronan. I'm originally from Oakland, but I live in Vermont now, and I'm here with my film, A School of Trout.
Hi, thank you all for coming. My name is Zach, and I'm from Dubai, which is where my film was shot. I live in Los Angeles now, and my movie is called Helium.
Hi, I'm Margot. I'm originally from Chicago, and I currently live in Nashville. My film is Springback.
Hi, my name is Colton Dillard. I grew up in Cappadocia, Turkey, but now am coming from Dallas, Texas, and my film is Page to Page.
Hello, my name is Boris. I'm originally from Germany and I live and work in Los Angeles. My film is called Glendale Paradise.
Hello everybody, my name is Cole. I'm from around here, Menlo Park, and my film is called Bill Shoes.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. My name is Siddharth. I'm also here with my film Pataka, yeah, I hope you like it.
And the last film is already Korean Skies. The filmmakers are unable to be with us, but we've got a wonderful show in store for you. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right, we're going to jump right into Q&A, and at the end of the Q&A, then we should hopefully have the ballots tabulated to announce the results. All right. So, I always like to begin by asking all our 9 finalists the same question and let them answer that. I don't tell them what the question is going to be until the date of the event, but this is the same question I asked them at the 3:30 show, so they've been polishing their answer for the last 4 hours, all right? So, and that is, I always love to ask them, when they have an idea in their head to create the film that they have created, they had a certain vision, I think, in mind, their imagination worked and saw the picture of their film in a certain way. And then in the course of making that film, perhaps something happened, something changed, they got a different idea, something came in, and they altered that, during what we call the creative process of what ends up being their finished product. And so I always like to ask you, did anything like that happen in the course of the evolution of what you ended up with? So we'll start with Margot. Margaret, with Fabric of Life, and each one will remind them who they are, which film they are, and how they might answer my question. Margaret.
Yeah, so in terms of changes, for me it actually happened after I thought all my animation was done, and so I was showing it to people, showing it to my professors, peers, and then I realized they didn't really get it, with what I was going for. And so I ended up having to reshoot the last scene to kind of clarify kind of who the characters were and kind of what the world was and what was going on. So it ended up being extra work, but in the end it was a lot better because of the feedback I was able to get.
Hi, I'm Christy. My film is Elegy for Last Raw Fish Salad. So I started with writing a poem, so I just felt like it's about one of the Chinese restaurants in San Francisco, Samo, was closed, and my favorite dish is going to be gone forever. And I felt so strongly about it, I wrote a poem. I never thought that it was going to be a film. I never thought that people are going to actually see it. I try to recreate it, that the poem is a beat poem. You know how they used to read poetry and then they have a live audience, call and response. And I wish so I didn't actually make any changes, it's just a poem. But I wish I started recording your reaction to the poem, that I can put it back into my documentary, so it'll be a real call and response. That's it.
I'm Rohit. The movie Pataka, I directed that. That's Siddharth. Siddharth's the editor. So the question was like, what changed, right? So there was this one instance where on day 2, the set was not painted. It was still wet, actually, and because of the rains. And we couldn't shoot in that structure. Ultimately, we could. That day, we just got like 10 shots or something. And I remember that we changed the scene where the woman who's working in the firecracker factory tells the little girl that you're stuck here forever. That scene, we had to like cut down shots significantly. And my first AD was like, you have to move, you don't have any time. And in that moment, there was this one shot where I thought that this girl can give me. Her name's Ashi, who played the protagonist. I really wanted her to emote, like give me like one shot where she's like almost about to cry, and we were not gonna get that shot. And she said, okay, you just point the camera and you shoot and you get one take. And that scene where she is like almost in tears, that's like one take, and she's just 11 years old, and it's incredible. And I don't think we would have gotten that shot if we were not in that particular situation.
I'll just tell you one other thing that changed. The first cut of our film was around 23 minutes. We added everything we had, and it was really all the elements that we shot were there in the first cut. And then we got a lot of notes. We showed it to a lot of people. We tried to trim it down as much as we can, just to have the bare minimum and still have it tell an effective story. So that now I think it's just 15 minutes. So we chopped down a whole another short film from the short film. So that also changed.
I'm Ronan. I did the School of Trout. I think the biggest thing that changed was originally when I started doing camera tests with the students to kind of see which ones would be the best on screen. From those first tests, I thought, well, maybe it's better to focus more on the teacher because she really shined in the camera test, and she really shines in the film. But as I started shooting in the actual classrooms, the kids were just so natural and so bored by me and the camera that they just were themselves, and so the film ended up being more about them.
Hi, I'm Zach. I did the movie Helium, and when we were rehearsing this movie, I remember that Romina, the actress who plays the girlfriend, kept saying that the ending was not funny enough. It was like, because I think originally it was a happy ending. I think they ended up together. And then she was like, I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be like Seinfeld, where like something goes wrong at the end. So I was like, okay, well, and then I thought of the whole, that is the sexiest voice I've ever heard in my entire life. And she abandoned it. So that was a good choice. I'm glad she pushed for that.
Hey, I'm Margot. My movie is Springback. I guess the biggest things that changed during filming was just seeing how the guys reacted to me even being there and how open they would be with sharing their stories and what they were doing. So it was always a surprise to be on set and see how it would go.
Hi, I'm Colton. I made Page to Page, and for me the biggest change was definitely basically everything. So because I pitched the idea and I knew that I wanted to be kind of about inspiration and connecting to what inspired you as a child and using that to kind of go from the pages of your past to the pages of the future, hence the name. But originally I had it as like this idea of this kid wanting to become an astronaut and all this stuff, which would have been way harder, and it wouldn't have been, I probably wouldn't have had it finished, and I would have gotten a 0 on the grade. But my professor told me like, okay, let's try to like think about different different story. So basically the structure stayed the same, and then I changed it to this, and I think it was a lot better.
Hello, I'm Boris, Glendale Paradise. When we initially wrote the script, I had a physical location in mind. So, I was thinking we should be shooting in a nursing home and have hallways and everything you have in a physical location. And during the planning of the project, we decided to shoot in a completely virtual studio. So everything in front of it is real. So the bed is real, the bedside table, but everything behind them is not real. It's a real projection and an LED screen. And that turned out then when you have a physical location in mind and suddenly you shoot in a virtual space, comes with complete different rules. And I've never shot in an LED studio, and it was great. I was free suddenly, I could do whatever I want, but then, oh no, you can't show the floor because then everything's gonna fall apart. So it was, really great, and it was also challenging at the same time. So the only thing, for example, the door, when he knocks at her door, the door is real, but we didn't have a door. So it's actually a restroom door so she was inside the restroom and he was outside. And then we, the magic of editing put it all together.
Hello everyone, my name is Cole. I worked on Bill's shoes, and there were a lot of surprises and challenges in general. One thing that surprised me is how open Linda was about her relationship and love towards Bill. But another challenge that I was thinking of was finding the star. So we went to Google, spent $30 to buy a star. You can name it after someone. Anyway, so the plan was that we would go to the park and we would find the coordinates of the star and see it in the sky, and we would look at it together and just have a good moment. So we walk out to the park. It's December, it's 9 p.m., so it's well past her bedtime. She's getting pretty tired. And I realized, even though I have the coordinates of the star, I have no idea how to read sky coordinates. So I'm there, I'm pointing at the sky, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Anyway, we still haven't actually seen the star, but hopefully it's out there and hopefully it looks pretty cool.
All right, let's open up to the audience. Just raise your hand if you have a comment or want to ask a question of any of the filmmakers, and if you can shout out loud enough, otherwise we'll repeat the question. Yes, right here in front.
Are those Bill's shoes you've got on?
Yeah. They sure are. They're a size 16 to me. They're pretty good. Cole said he found 3 pairs of socks just to wear them. Yes, he did. All right, John.
Was that actually San Juan, the location that you shot the last fish salad eulogy?
Yes, it was. But they actually got reopened 2 weeks ago. Yeah. We'll check it out. Oh, but the dish is gone. They took it off the menu. So it's still an allergy now.
Okay, who's got another question? Right here? Can you shout it out for us?
Yeah, I have a question for Springback. As the main gentleman, the CEO, was speaking, he was so eloquent that I forgot that it wasn't scripted, because I was thinking, so how much conversation did you have to ask? How many questions did you have to ask to elicit all the good stuff that you got? Like how much ended up on the floor? And, it's all the editing.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot. I shot so much stuff and talked to them so much beforehand. Luckily, I was able to film all like the behind the scenes or the verite shots at the beginning. So I got to introduce myself to them, like showed up at their work pretty much every week and just kind of said hey and filmed a little bit. And then I want to say maybe a month or 2 after I started filming them just doing their day-to-day jobs, we did the interviews. And since they were comfortable with me, they were more comfortable on camera, which was great for the video.
Yeah. You got another one? Yeah. Right here, shout it out.
For Baron, where did that come from? Baron. Boris. Sorry.
Boris.
Sorry, I just renamed it.
Where did the story come from?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Fear. No, I see. I see everybody in the team. Me and John, my co-writer, the producer. We all had, going through tough times with our parents. So that kind of influenced the whole thing. And we wrote this in 2022, which was the start of AI, which was basically the start of the war in Ukraine. All of that we all packed it in. And when I watch it now, I think, oh, okay, it's actually, even worse. I think it kind of gets, it is worse, yes. And so I hope I'm not foreshadowing something, but it was kind of coming out of really fear and a lot of, things we had to process in a sense.
All right, another question, right up here, shout it out.
Yeah, this is for all of you. How many were in your crew when you went to shoot?
How many in your crew would you win to shoot? Okay, let's talk to Margaret, Christy, 1.
80, 70?
70.
70 or 80.
Okay, 7 or 8.
2 to 3, depending on the day.
Okay, 2 or 3.
Maybe 10?
10?
2.
2. 1.
I would say 10 to 15 now.
10 to 15, go.
2, sometimes 3 if my mom drove me somewhere.
Another question. Another question. Right here. Yes.
2 questions about for Margot. One of them, oh, thank you. So 2 questions for Margot. One of them was, how did you yourself find out about this business in place? And then the second one was, would be, in the film, at one point they briefly allude to how, when they first started, a lot of the employees didn't really get along well. But then, that changed over time. Do you have any details on what exactly they did to help facilitate that growth and change?
Yeah, for sure. To answer the first question, I was a part of a social entrepreneurship club in college, and they often helped local nonprofits in the Nashville area, and they were one of the nonprofits they helped. So I always knew about them for all throughout college, and then when I got out of college and wanted to make something on my own, I thought they would be a super interesting topic to do a video on. And then for your second question, I mean, it's really hard starting a business and getting the right people and the right resources and just getting the right enthusiasm to even make something happen, especially when you're dealing with people who are just struggling in general. So I think once Ryan came, the CEO came to Springback, he was able to make a real difference and change in just the company, the culture, and really everything about Springback. Thanks for your question.
So what else? Comment or question? Okay. Bernadette, and then Bernadette, shout it out.
If I may ask each of you, what was the impetus for the film that you made?
Could you hear the question?
Could you hear?
What was the inspiration?
The impetus. What made you decide to make that film?
Yeah,
The impetus. What made you decide to make the film you made?
Yeah, so for Fabric of Life, it had been an idea that I'd had for a couple of years, but I hadn't had the resources to actually bring it to life. And so being able to be in the experimental animation course, so this was my final project for that course. And so it gave me the space and gave me the guidance of my awesome professor and my peers to be able to actually bring it to life and have the resources that I never thought I would have at that time.
So for me, I actually have a YouTube channel, and it's on histories. The history of Chinese food in America. So it's explainer videos. So it's kind of boring, 10 minutes, talk about history nonstop. So this is my first, more like an artistic, expressive form of video that I've really made. And of course, the inspiration is that Soundwall, the previous one, was closing early this year, and I was so sad. I was like, what can I do about this? And I just wrote a poem. And then I decided to turn it into a short film.
The film school I went to, they told me they won't give me the degree if I don't make a movie, I guess. It's one of the things, yes. But this was a story pitched by Sid. So Sid brought the story up, and back then it was about this girl in Afghanistan who won't be able to go to school because the Taliban has taken over. That was the initial idea, that was the initial pitch, and that was the story that I was on. But then we had to pivot, and we had to go to a story that we were more familiar with. And such things, when I was growing up in India, these things like I would like come across, like we'll have like our domestic help who would get their daughters to work, never their sons, mostly their daughters, because that's what was expected out of them to grow up and like support a family, and I would always question why they don't have the permission to have ambitions. And I was very young for that, to understand such a complex topic, but that pitch gave me, a vent to voice that, and yeah, that's what led to this movie. I mean, in parts, yes. Smaller places, smaller cities, yes, pretty much. This is as recent as 7 years ago, but in very different forms. Like, it's not so apparent. This was like a very clear picture of, not like trying to like hide anything, but it exists in a more softer way now, where they're asked to women in general are asked to know their rules and make way for guys.
I was finishing up another film, and I was kind of looking for a new idea, and I knew that the school was a special place, and I've always been interested in education and the outdoors, so the story just kind of happened in that.
Yeah, like usually when you make a movie, like two of the most expensive things are the location and the equipment. And I was lucky in the scenario where those two things were free. And I had the idea for Helium, but I could kind of rewrite it to be set in the hotel where we filmed it. And it was a good opportunity, so that's why we did it. But really, we just wanted to make something funny. So that was, yeah.
I've been working in the entertainment industry for about a year when I started Springback, and I just wanted to create something of my own, and I thought it would be awesome to highlight a cool nonprofit in Nashville.
Yeah, I was actually in the same class as Margaret, so we created our films at the same time, and we're actually probably within like 10 feet of each other, our little stations. And so it was kind of the same thing where the professor basically said, go make a film, and it was kind of the first time somebody told me to actually go and do that, and so I was like, okay, I have to think of some idea. And I wanted to do basically inspiration and kind of the feeling that I got of when I take in a good story, kind of just wanting to go out and create, and that was kind of, so my inspiration was inspiration.
About 5 years ago, I did a short film that got into an online film festival, and John, my co-writer, he saw that film and sent me an email. Hey, you want to do another short film? And sure, get an email from someone who wants to pay for a short film. I said, okay, hold on a second, that can't be true. So for like a few months, we were writing back and forth. It was kind of like dating. And then we started talking on the phone, and at one point, and I still didn't believe it was true, but at one point we met in New York, and I said, wow, okay, this is real, we're gonna do it, and we did it. And that's the whole thing started like that.
The impetus of my film, new word by the way. But it really all originates around 6 months ago, or a year and a half ago, when I got this pair of shoes for my neighbor Bill. Around 2 months later, he got diagnosed with cancer, and 4 months later, he died. Yeah, that was a downer. Sorry about that. Anyway, this was really the last thing I had to remember Bill, and that's why it meant something to me. And I just wanted to capture some of his life because of that.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you. So, question right here, if you have a question, go right here to the end. Yes, shout it out.
My question was for the animators, and that was what role AI played in your animation, and if you guys have any thoughts on the role of AI in animation.
Can you hear the question? Can you hear the question?
Yeah.
What role did AI have and in the creation, and where do you see the future going?
Do you have any thoughts about AI animation?
That is a big question. It's a good question. I was asked this right before this showing. For me, I didn't use it at all within this animation. I really haven't. Not because I'm necessarily always opposed to it, just because I feel like I'm not that tech savvy enough. I think there's a big kind of question mark as to what it's going to be like in the future. For us, I think there's something within stop motion that the whole point of it is that it's a very tangible, feasible, like you're actually holding stuff and then moving it. Whereas computer animation, there's a reason why it's different. It's like on the screen itself. So honestly, I'm gonna answer it by I do not know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like zero use of AI. Everything was hand positioned, photographed. So it's over 1,000. Like both media holders, they would have over 1,000 individually moved, hand moved photographs to make both of those. And it's just such a short amount of time, but it expresses just so much time that we've both put into it, where it's all just people all behind us, and through just support from other people and just doing things with our own hands as well. In terms of AI, I haven't used it a little bit because I've been so bad at audio that I needed something to save my bad audio file to like clean it up to make it usable. So I think in that way there is a use for a tool. I don't think it should ever replace the person, because what is the point of creating it? It's not a human being behind it. So I don't know where it would go, but I do have hope that I don't think we're going anywhere.
Good. All right, way over this other side, shout it out.
Yeah, first of all, it's so awesome that you did that without AI. I think craftsmanship shows and it's beautiful with people behind that. Congratulations to that. Ronan, this is a question for you. I think kids are such an amazing subject because of their innocence and their awe, and you captured them so beautifully. My question is, have you had a chance to screen the film with the kids, and what was their reaction? If not, what do you think their reaction might be when you do screen with them?
Well,
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the question was, what was the reaction of the kids to the film about them? And so I was kind of under the gun to get the project done, because the kids, I shot up in their second semester of their 4th grade year, and they graduated in 5th grade. So I need to get it finished so that they could see it before they, go off to different middle schools. And so not the cut that was screened today, but like the initial cut of the film I got to screen for them. And I was really nervous presenting it to them because I wanted to make sure that the kids felt faithfully represented on the screen. But thankfully all the kids were really, really excited about it. And afterwards the teachers have been saying that the kids have been, it meant a lot for the kids to get to see themselves on the screen. So they enjoyed it.
Why were some of their faces blurred?
So because they're kids, we had to get consent from them and their parents to show them in the film. And the district and the school and the teachers were really great at working with me on that. but some of the parents and the kids chose to not be in the film, so had to play them.
All right. Hopefully, we have two teams running tabulation. Hopefully, they'll be soon. I've done very early. One over here and then one over here. Yes.
Okay. I want to know about the School of Trout. What do you hope to do with this film now? I mean, do you want to circulate it to schools, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, the question was, now that the film is done, what do I want to do with it? I think the school itself, they actually just had an open house Thursday night, and they screened it for the community to kind of give the parents an idea, a peek into what their kids are doing at school. And I think it'd be great to have other students get to see it as well.
Was hand over there? Yes. Shout out.
An observation and then a question. The observation is it's nice to see how many young people are involved this year. It's a little bit different from previous years. And you know, gives you hope for the future and stuff. But a follow-up that I was wondering is, as a result of this, are you going to continue doing films? And you know, see what each one of you think. I mean, I see you described what you went through, but how many you're going to do in the future?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to just keep making films and keep animating. It's ultimately my goal is to be a stop motion animator / fabricator if I can do that. So I just hope to keep following that path and just see which doors open.
Yes, I'm absolutely going to do more. Even just from this, I want to create a series. Like, imagine having a poem or a song or like a paragraph, like a stanza for different Chinese restaurants all over California. That's what I'm going to do. It's boring way to talk about history.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There's no joy that I've felt greater than what it is to make a movie and hear people reacting to it. It's absolutely wonderful, for however long I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a mechanical engineer before this, and I quit mechanical engineering to be here and to tell stories. And I think there's no greater honor in telling stories about underrepresented people and sharing their side of the world to you guys. So, yeah, for sure.
I think I'm in the same boat. It's such a joy to get to tell stories like this and to both all the technical and all the storytelling aspects and see it all combined. So
I'm retiring. This is my last movie. I'll do more. I don't know. It's just got to be like a good script or something. Yeah.
Yes, of course I'll do more.
Yeah.
You Ricky? I guess I'm the senior in the group. I'm already disillusioned. No, I think what I learned over the years, making a movie is a blessing, and shoot every movie if it were your last film, because you never know when the next one will come. But I will continue.
Yeah, I definitely see myself making more films. Hopefully nothing changes that. But yeah, there's always more stories to tell, always more fun to be had in filmmaking.
For 3 minutes max, so hang in there, okay? So let's take one more question, right here.
I have a question about being that I'm in my 80s. It was very interesting to see that, and having already young people trick me, thinking, you know, this is Grandpa in Costco telling you how to go on a certain day to get a free lunch and all that. But I think that your film would be very, very interesting for, you know, older people to figure, is this what I want? Do I want truth? Or do I want to be living in La La Land? And I thought it was brilliant because of the fact that we are right now in that, you know, with those two worlds in juxtaposition. So have you thought about contribution for it to be used as discussion in senior groups or?
Yes, so we're still sending it to festivals, so we're still on the festival run. We hope to have more festivals. You never know what distribution. If someone wants to pick it up, if you have distribution here, please do so. I love that it sparked a discussion, and also amongst the team we discussed a lot, and I think that's why we made it, because we never know where are we going with this, with the future of this. And I think that sooner than we think, we will have to make some hard decisions when it comes to AI, for sure. Yeah.
I have an announcement to make. Good. So I will make the announcement, and then I'll invite the finalists to exit outside and then go out to the theater and hang around if anyone wants to greet them individually after the show. And so I have the results of the ballot. The result, as you know, all our finalists are considered winners, and that's why they are here. Laurels for the Mountain Shadow Short Film Competition, 11th annual, and for number 3, the third place laurels goes to Roden for School of Trout. Second place laurels goes to Boros for Glendale Paradise. First place laurels go to Margot for Springfield. Thank you so much for